Chapter 12. Too late to take it back. And anyway, I didn't want to take it back. Squabbling wasn't going to win the game. There are more Capassan ships, I said. They're here to exterminate us. They'll be back. You need to conceal your home crystal in the clouds for as long as you can. And start building weapons. Ho! What are you? Jarred Brass demanded. I started to answer, but a new voice interrupted. He's the only one who is playing the game. It was Menno. How had I missed those oversized wings? This is not a game, Jarred Brass said in a freezing voice intended to silence the other youngsters. Yes, it is, Menno insisted, completely unintimidated. It is a game, and the Capassans think it's a game, and if we don't play, we lose. It's why they've come. They've come to play. They've come at our invitation. Jarred Brass started to speak. But no words came. He collapsed all at once. The hard set of his face, his determined expression, all dissolved. 12 crystals. He whispered pitifully. It cannot be. What does he mean at our invitation? Farsight asked Menno directly. Menno didn't answer. He smiled at me, a haunted shadow of the cocky gamer I'd met at the dance by. I knew what he meant. I knew what they had done. They've found a way to wave broadcast, I said. But it must have been fairly recently. How could wave broadcasts have traveled so far off-world and reached the Capassans? We linked to a zero-space transponder, Menno said proudly. We're a century ahead of you Equatorials, you know. We can punch a signal through the background radiation. And we can bounce it through Z-space. In 10 years we'd have had a full airfoil crystal and been the hub of a global unanet. And soon thereafter we could have linked directly to the Generationals and the Illermans on their home worlds. It would have been a revolution. What signals did you bounce through Z-space, Polar? I asked. Can't you guess, my equatorial friend? Simple mathematical formulas at first, for the earliest tests. But we had to see whether the system could handle heavy darted traffic. Mother Sky, you broadcast games. You bounced games through Z-space. Yes. Brilliant, wasn't it? Menno sneered. Except for the slight, small fact, that some species don't know the difference between games and reality. These aliens are here to exterminate us because they've seen our games and believe them to be real. They think we make toys of other species, that we interfere with their development with utter indifference to the results. They aren't here to do evil. They're here to annihilate what they believe to be a race of murderers. This horrifying news was still ringing in the stunned silence when someone cried, "Look!" Every head turned. 2 Capassan ships emerged from the clouds. I didn't wait for orders, I beat-winged to the crate. I slid down through the hatch and barreled into Lakofa. There, I panted. I saw them. 50% thrust. I grabbed the controls as we shot away from the MC. Which target? Left or right? Left was closest to the polar orbit high. Stop them first, then, a beam of light sliced the nub of a wing from the polar. A chunk of new crystal fell, dragging 30 or more Ketrans down with it. Who had fired? Behind us. On top of us. I spun the crate, let momentum carry us skimming beneath the belly of the ship, and fired right up into it. At the same moment the other 2 Capassan ships blazed with flechettes. The tiny shrapnel caught the polars from 2 sides. Maybe someone lived through that. But not enough to provide even a semblance of lift. It was my home all over again. Only this time no desperate wings fought gravity. This time the docked males and females, juvies and oldsters, were all nothing more than ballast. Dead weight. Polar orbit high crystal fell like an unstrung corpse. Simply fell from the sky. The Capassan ship above us veered off, having now seen the peril that we represented. Too late to matter. Polar orbit high was gone. And it was 3 Capassan ships against the MC's force field and the crate's pitiful weapons. No winning move. Nothing left but to fly away. Retreat. A valid strategy. I had seen many a species retreat from an attack, regroup, Renumber, resurge. Fly away. Reverse thrust, I said. Lakofa didn't respond. It's the only move, Lakofa. The crate. We have to save it. It's the only weapon we have. Our only chance. They'll kill everyone. Everyone, won't they? Every crystal, one by one. Not us, I said harshly. Not if we run. Lakofa, we're it. We're all we have now. All of the Ketran race. Now reverse thrust. Do it. The Capassan ships didn't bother to pursue us as the MC and we two in the crate blew towards space. High above our lost, doomed planet we rendezvoused with the MC and were accepted back inside the force field. It was the end of Ket. And, although there were still 72 Ketrans alive at that moment, it was also the end of my race.